Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. Today I'm taking part in a challenge, and I'll get back to that on all the details in just a moment. So let's get right into this project. Now this is a Dollar Tree, like a shadow box. I took the sticker off, and then I flipped it over and pulled off that um, horse, and then I started working at removing the paper. Now, I wasn't able to get it all off, and I really didn't want to pull the back off, so I just worked at it and got as much as I could, and then I kind of used my sanding block and sanded over the top to smooth out the edges. I'm going to be covering it. I'm not going to be painting it, so I don't have to worry about a ridge showing up. You won't be able to see. In fact, I probably could have just covered the whole picture, but I usually like to take that, the part of the paper away. Now I'm using my Folk Art Nautical chalk paint, and I am painting the outside, or the frame, so the inside, the edge, and the outside of the frame, all in this nautical, Folk Art Nautical chalk paint. Now I am a Plaid ambassador, and Plaid does Folk Art, Waverly, applebarrel, cream coat, Waverly, modpodge, and many other things. So now I grabbed this scrapbooking paper that's light blue with snowflakes on it. Now I am going to cut this so that it fits in to that frame. Now I wanted the snowflakes on all of it, so I end up piecing it together. Now I'm just kind of checking the size until I get it perfectly where it will fit into this. Now I definitely going to put strips of the snowflakes on the three sides that I had to cut away. And I'm just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because I don't want to take too much away. So there I found the right size. Now I'm going to use my glue stick, my Jot glue stick from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to coat the whole back of the paper and then just put it in. Then I'm going to start working on those two edges that has no snowflakes, and I guess I could have gotten away without doing it. I just wanted it to be finished, look more finished. That's just the one I like to do. And so, as you can see, I'm just trying to figure out what is the best spot on the paper to use, and exactly where it needs to be. So I'm just kind of measuring it and making sure that it's all going to fit. And once I get that done, then we're going to move on to what I end up doing with this, the next step. And I'm just using that Jot glue stick again to put these strips in. And when I'm done, you can't even tell that they have been added in like that. They look like it's all just one paper. And I was hoping I had one like that, but I had ran out. But I think this looks really cool. Okay, now, these are some jingle bells that I have had for years. I used to work in a craft store many years ago, and so I'm just picking out some silver and some gold bells, and I am just putting them inside of this. And now you're thinking, Connie, what are you doing? You are making no sense at all, but you just wait and see. Now, I took this freezer bag and I put the shadow box on it, and I'm drawing around it. Now, normally I would have used plexiglass or glass. I just didn't have any glass the right size, and I didn't have any plexiglass in the right size to fit this. So, hey, I'm using a storage bag. So I'm just cutting, because there's two pieces, so I'm just cutting one piece, making sure it's going to fit on there. Now, earlier I got on my Cricut and I cut out a cute saying. So originally I was going to put it on the paper, but I'm thinking, nah, we're going to put it on this plastic. I've never tried this before, but it did work. So I'm just weeding it all, and I end up putting it down in a couple of different I think two. I do the big word on top, and I do the rest underneath. But I just wanted for the placement. And I always do my weeding while it's still on its backer paper, and that makes it a lot easier for the transfer. So, excuse me, something came in my house I'm allergic to, and I've been sneezing. And, yeah, allergies. Just love them. Not. Okay, so as I'm getting this all weeded out, then I'm going to grab some contact paper that I've used many, many times. I hate using a new piece. Eventually I'm going to have to. I hate the way it's just too tacky. And I need to get a towel that I use to put over it to defuzz it so that it's easier to use. I just keep forgetting. So I'm just putting this on here, and then I'm lifting it off, and you can see I'm starting to have a hard time getting the contact paper to pull up the letters, and that's when I know it's time to start using a different piece of contact paper. But it ends up coming up fairly easy. I just have to hold it because I'm pulling plastic off of plastic, and I just want the vinyl to stay. But I'm just going to go ahead and get this finished, and then we're going to get to the details on this this collaboration. Okay, now that I have this done, I'm just going to use my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to glue it to the top of the edge of the frame, and make sure that it gets on there. Now, a little bit of it melted, but it's okay because we're going to put a border around it. So and it says Jingle All the Way. Thought this was appropriate with the jingle bells. And so I am just gluing this on, and then I'm going to pull out my bag of doodads and whatnots, and not really not what. I can't even talk today. Wow. All my little trims and stuff, and pick one that I think will look the best. Now, I think this is really a cool project. So I'm trimming the extra plastic that is sticking out, and now I grab my little bag and I start pulling stuff out, and I end up pulling out, I was gonna do that dark rickrack. It didn't do anything for me because the trim's already dark. So I grabbed this white iridescent rickrack, and I just measured it to make sure I was going to have enough, and I have just enough, like maybe 4 inches left over. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this on, and I'm just going to glue one side, cut it, turn it, glue it, cut it, turn it, because I don't want to have to turn the rickrack and make a big bubble or a big thickness that's going to look funny. And it's easy to put rickrack over an edge, and it ends up looking just fine. So I end up doing all 4 of the sides of this, and then I'm going to grab this. I don't even know what it's called because I've had it for so many years. It's a cording, but it's like silk, and it's really soft. Well, I didn't realize I had it in that bag, but when I went back to look, it's a light powder blue. Perfect for this. So I'm just going to make a finger bow with a ton of loops, and I'm just going to glue it right on there. I had that ribbon. I thought, no, that ribbon is too wide to make a bow. It'll overpower the whole project. So here's that little silk cording. Like I said, I'm just going to do a little finger bowl, and I'm going to use every single bit of that so that it's poofy, so it doesn't like lay flat and look funny. You'll be able to see it. Now, once I get done wrapping this around my fingers, I use a little bit of paddle wire and tie it in the center. You won't be able to see that wire because it is so, there's so many loops that you just won't be able to see it. So I'm just going to do that, and then I'm going to hot glue this on, and we're going to call this project finished as soon as I get this hooked on here. I hope you guys really like this project. I really been waiting to figure out what I was going to do with a lot of these bells. I'm not one for like using a ton, so, and I had hundreds, so that little basket's all that's left. So I am getting down. I just didn't know what I was going to do with those little tiny ones. So here I am just tightening that wire, going to cut it off, trim it, and then I'm going to pull those loops so they're nice and separated from each other. And I'm just going to hot glue it right onto there. And this is a finished, awesome project. So I hope you guys like it. And let's get to the information on this collaboration. And here is the final result. Now to that information. All right, this collaboration is the Jingle All the Way, and the host is Chantel from Crafty Hints, and the co-host is Rustic and Lace DIY, and that is Brenda. Now, this is a collaboration that's all about jingles, jingle bells, jingle whatever. So that's why I use those little jingle bells. And now we're going to get, now also, before we get to the next project, I want you to remember to go down to the description box, and down there will be Chantel's and Brenda's channel links, as well as the playlist link, and a lot of other really cool information that I put in my description boxes. So let's get started on this next project. Okay, as you can see, I am gathering all the things that I need for this project. This is from the Dollar Tree, and these bells are also from the Dollar Tree. And now I'm going to, a bunch of the bottoms are like pushed down, so I'm using my little staple remover and pulling those bottoms up so they're flat rather than dipped in. And then I'm going to grab my little bag with my all my little trims, and I grab this gold and then some of that same silk cording, some in red. One is pieces burgundy, and then some red and some white. And then we're going to start with these projects, and I'm just going to tie them on, make a loop, and make a knot at the top for hanging. And then we're going to embellish these. So I'm just going to do that with all 8 of these bells. Now as I'm finishing up this last one, then I'm going to grab I need some leaves, and I was looking for like pine needles, but I've ran out. So I just grabbed some leaves that was on poinsettias, and I'm going to use those instead for the little embellishments. And I also grabbed from the Dollar Tree some berries that I had gotten last year, and those are them right there. And I'm just going to embellish these little bells. And so while I'm doing that, I want to thank you for coming and watching this video. And if you are new here, I am so glad you're here, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. If you hit it twice, you can click on that all, and you'll be notified every time I upload a video. As well as give me a big old thumbs up and leave me a comment if you desire to. I love reading comments. And if you are a subscriber, welcome back. I'm so glad you came back to watch this video. So, as you can see, I'm just putting the leaves and then the little berries, and that's all I'm doing. Very simple. These are gonna go on my tree this year. I have I'm really more traditional when it comes to the way I decorate my tree. I know some people like to do one style one year, one style the next year, another style, and on and so on. But I've made most of my ornaments, and so I don't like just putting them away or giving them away. So I have two different styles of trees. Now maybe one day I'll make a third, but right now the one I've been doing the last couple of years is my blue. It's a blue, white, and silver. But my other tree, I've had these things a lot longer, and it is red, gold, and white. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm decorating that tree this year. And these are going to go perfectly and go right into, just melt right into that tree. Plus, I'm also cutting little pieces of that wispy, glittery things sitting over there out of that pick. I'm putting those on there too. Now, I know these are quite simple, but I have a lot of ornaments for that tree, and I only have one tree. I used to have two. I had for a while three. It's just too hard to do that many trees, and I don't really have a lot of areas for my trees, especially seeing how my new craft room took away half my living room, which, don't worry, my living room was huge. It's like 14 feet by 25 feet or 30, so I just took part of it. I didn't take a half of it. I took less than half, but that just gives me less room to put a tree. And that's okay with me because I love decorating, but oh, I don't like taking trees down. Oh no, not at all. So now, as you can see, I'm just finishing up these little berries, and then we're going to call this project done. Like I said, I'm doing it more simple because I don't want them overpowering everything else that I've made on my Christmas tree. So I hope you guys really enjoyed these two projects, and you all have a great day and blessed week. And call somebody and tell them you love them. That just might be exactly what they need to hear today. And you guys, I'll see you on the next one, but don't forget to be the Bible that somebody reads today. Bye.